Welcome to the Spurs 9501 podcast. From Kane to the Lane, the final say on all things Tottenham.
Welcome back to the Spurs 9501 podcast. This is Ray in London. I've got a very special guest for all our subscribers and our viewers today. This is Dimitri Panopoulos from Greece. He's an expert in providing analytics for football players. Dimitri, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Good to be here, Ray. Thanks
Excellent.
for having me.
So Dimitri he's done some analytics for us on Tottenham's squad and also potentially Wolves as well to see how we perform against Wolves because of Nuno and also how we perform against the rest of the Premier League. So Dimitri, before we start, could you give us a quick introduction to your company and what you actually do in the football arena?
Yeah, sure. The company is, the project actually is Football IQ. We've been running it since 2017. What we're doing is we're using data analytics for recruitment purposes, for performance analysis. Essentially, we're talking about data scouting. Okay, there are lots of companies. Actually, when we started, there weren't many companies, but, since we're talking about a trend lately, in analytics, there have been many companies popping up. So what's our differentiation? We have created our own performance index. One thing is that we are transforming raw statistics to percentiles. So we're making it much easier for anyone, professionals or not, to use our data and to derive insights, actually. The second thing is we are creating also our own KPIs. Our objective and how we've been operating in the industry during the past 3 years, since 2018, we're trying to make things easier, faster, and solve the industry's pain points in evaluating incoming recommendations, in discovering the most suitable players, things like that, services like that.
Okay, so if I just understand that correctly, the main benefits you do is you may get raw data about a player, but then you convert that into a percentage so that people can understand how well or badly he's doing. That's the first thing. And secondly, you're creating when we say KPI, we call it key performance indicators. You're creating new metrics about players so that scouts and managers can get a better handle on how well or badly that player is doing. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Great, that's really good. So what we'll do is we'll put the link to Football IQ in the description so any of our viewers who are interested can get more information. And hopefully we will have Dimitri on again through the season. So Dimitri, you wanted to share some information about some work you've done on Tottenham Hotspur for us, for our viewers. So do you want me to share the screen so you can show what you've done?
Yes, sure.
Dimitri has done some analysis on the Spurs squad for the last 3 seasons. I think you can see that. So Dimitri, did you want to talk our viewers and subscribers through this analysis, and then we'll go through the slides as you talk through it?
Okay, sure. So if you go, to the first slide, a bit of introduction I think is needed over here.
Yeah,
so
sure.
What we see here is our main KPIs. So we have CRTP, ATTP, ATT, and defense, DF, and aerial. So what do these main KPIs mean? CRTP, we're talking about ball circulation. ATTP, we're talking about passing threat, attacking passing. ATT and defending we're talking about attacking and defending performance, defensive performance, and aerial performance. These KPIs are a summary of all metrics that, let's say, belong under these specific categories. So, for example, when we're talking about ball circulation, we're talking about passes that promote possession, passes that retain possession, through passes, etc. So what we're doing is we're using the percentiles, and at the same time, we're summarizing into 5-6 main KPIs. So at a glance, we can have a very good idea, a very clear idea about how a player or a team is performing in certain areas.
Yeah.
So,
I understand. So ball circulation is how well you use the ball. Is that correct? Ball circulation.
Yes. How often you have the ball, and how efficiently you move it around.
So is ball circulation the same as possession or not?
It could be, but it's not 100%
Sure.
possession.
And ATTP is attacking play, so this is when you're attacking, obviously, attacking. Passing, so passing forward, is that correct?
Yes. Passing to the final third, passing inside the opponent's box, crossing, all passes that can be characterized as creating the possibility of a chance, direct or indirect chance.
Sure. Attacking, is that only measured in the box of the opponent, or is that in the half of the opponent? Attacking.
Attacking is everywhere. It consists of dribbling, it consists of shooting, it consists of presence in danger zones, touches in the penalty area, etc.
Okay.
And defending as well. All defensive actions. We're talking about defensive contests, tackling, shots blocked, interventions.
Okay, excellent. So, talk us through what this chart is showing about Tottenham for the last 3 seasons.
Okay, so in this chart, what we see is we have plotted the team averages of Tottenham throughout the 3 last seasons. On the purple color you see is from 2018-2019 season under Pochettino. The silver one is 2019-2020 season. And the yellow one is the most recent season under Mourinho. So, if we take this data, what's our comparison? If we take this chart and compare the performance of Tottenham, the team performance of Tottenham throughout the 3 last seasons, we see an obvious pattern, especially from this season, that Tottenham has become a lot more defensive in the whole team style of play, and we observe a decrease in the team's efforts when it comes to ball circulation. We'll see this in more detail at another slide. And what we can, if I can make a conclusion, if we can make a conclusion, if we can come up with a conclusion from this, is the last 2 seasons compared to the most recent one, Tottenham had been a much more balanced side compared to what happened this season under Mourinho.
Yeah, you can see here in this season the attacking has gone really down, defense has gone really up.
Yes.
And the ball circulation's gone down, and this is similar. Okay, should we go to the next slide then?
Yes, I think we can move.
So tell us about this slide.
Okay, so over here we see the breakdown. With the blue color, we see involvement. So all attempts, productivity with the red color, successful attempts, and with the green color, efficiency, success percentage. Okay, so these are all converted into percentiles, and we're talking still about team averages. So if we can talk about trends, about the individual KPIs, we see a downward trend in efficiency when it comes to ball circulation. As you see, there is not a decrease in terms of involvement. So still the team wants to play, wants to move the ball around, wanted to move the ball around under Mourinho this season. But the efficiency has fallen significantly compared to where it was the last 2 seasons. Also, in terms of attacking passing threat, you see a much more obvious downward trend in terms of efficiency when it comes to creating chances, and also in terms of attacking, we notice the same thing. Not a big difference in terms of involvement, but in terms of efficiency, you see over there that there is a small decrease as well over there, which as a consequence affects the productivity, the attacking productivity as well. And what we keep is the 2 upward trends in terms of defensive and aerial performance. So this season Tottenham has become a more defensive-oriented side, let's say.
Yep. I think this is just confirming, validating what we saw on the pitch in terms of what Mourinho's tactics were, what he's doing. But this data is actually saying this. What we thought is actually true, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's go to the next slide then.
Okay, so over here, what we see is the involvement of the team. So if you have a look at the first 5 metrics, so we have P, which is all passes, PMT, passes that promote possession, RET, retaining possession, BLD, build-up passes, and SHM, short medium passes, and LNG, long passes. What we see is, there is a huge difference between how the team had been trying to create and move the ball around under Pochettino compared to the last 2 seasons. And the most recent one, 2020-2021, we see a significant decrease in the attempted passes, in the attempts of the team overall to move the ball around. So for me, this is one of the biggest differences over here. And also at the end of this, to the right, you can see the increase, two actual increases in defensive contests and in aerial contests from Tottenham. So fewer attempts to circulate the ball around, more attempts for defensive contests and aerial contests.
So are we saying more involvement in the defensive side rather than the offensive side?
Yes.
Okay, great, excellent, very good. Let's go to the next slide. This is similar. What do we mean by efficiency when we talk about the statistics, Dimitris?
Efficiency, we call the conversion, the success percentage, actually.
So if I make a pass, if it's success, it's 100% efficient. If it's 80 out of 80 passes, only 10 up, then it's a lower percentage, yeah? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So what is this chart showing us about efficiency for Spurs?
I think it's clear that as time passed by, I mean, during the last 2 seasons compared to Pochettino's one, 2018-2019,
it's gone down. Everything went down. Yeah.
Everything has gone down.
Except the aerial has gone up. Aerial, and also defensive has gone up. Etc. And SHO, I don't know what the SHO is. What's SHO?
Which one?
This one. Shots. SHO.
SHO, yeah, shooting.
Oh, shooting, yeah. Okay, should we go to the next slide?
Yeah, sure.
So this is a report that you've very kindly done for us on the Tottenham squad. So we've got all the players down the left-hand side here, not in any particular order, I think. You've got their age, position, height, foot, nationality, MVs, market value, contracts, appearances. Do you just want to talk our viewers through what you're showing here? I see you've got different color schemes as well. Maybe you want to explain what they mean as well.
Yeah, over here we have the Tottenham squad, all the players used throughout the season, along with their main KPIs: versatility, creative pass, attacking pass, attack, defense, aerial. So, and green color, players with highest ratings, red color, players with lower ratings in each respective category. So, if we have a look, for example, at the CRTP column.
Can we just start with versatility and talk us through that?
Okay, so what do we mean by versatility? Versatility, players with high versatility, when you see a player with high versatility, it indicates that his ratings in 2 or more, that he has high ratings in 2 or more summary KPIs.
Okay.
So
if he's got high ratings in 2 or more of these, he becomes a versatile player.
Yes.
So you can see the versatile players for ours. We've got Aurier, Doherty, we've got Højbjerg, Winks, Ndombele, Lo Celso, not quite, and then we've got Bale, Lamela, and we've got Harry Kane, obviously, because Harry Kane is striker, drops deep as well, etc., and defends a lot. So, okay, thank you. So, should we go to CRTP?
Yes, CRTP, as we said, it indicates ball circulation. So, which players had been moving the ball around more often and more efficiently? We see here Alderweireld, we see Dyer, obviously Winks, and we have Højbjerg and Sanchez when he played. So, this kind of report, it allows anyone to have at a glance a clear understanding about which player does what and at what level.
Yeah, no, that's very good. It's very insightful actually. So this is attacking passes. So you can see Aurier, even though he's a defender, he's got a very high rating for attacking passes, which means he's doing a lot of attacking as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Aurier actually has been excellent this season, according to the data. Right?
Yeah, so, of course. Yeah,
I must admit that the games I've watched Tottenham this season have not been a lot. So
no, I understand, but this is the data. Yeah, I understand that. But if we look at attacking passes, Sissoko, who's a midfielder, is 55%. You got Winks and Højbjerg, and then you got Vinicius, who's a striker, has only got one. That could be because he hasn't played many matches, obviously.
Obviously, but let me note about attacking pass that also Harry Kane, which this season he has a very high rating in attacking pass. During the past 2 seasons, he was very low on this area. So with with strikers actually, we have 2 distinct categories: strikers who just net goals, and strikers who do more than netting goals. So it seems that, for example, Vinicius has been used this season. The little that he's played has been used primarily, with one objective in mind, and not actually to participate in creating chances.
Yeah, it's interesting here. If you've got attacking play, people like Winks and Sissoko, these guys are meant to be, not just defensive, but attacking. They're not really doing it that much. And also Lo Celso, only 66%. He's meant to be a forward attacking player. So again, the stats are showing that we're not playing really attacking football.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and actually, what we can derive from attacking passing ratings from over here is who were the most threatening players when they had the ball on their feet in terms of creating chances. So we see paradoxically that Kane and Aurier had been the most dangerous ones, along with Dele Alli, who hasn't featured a lot. And then it comes to Gareth Bale.
Yeah. Okay. The attacking part, we've done that. Did you want to talk about the attacking part, or do you want to go defensive and aerial now?
In terms of attacking, I just want to mention about Heung-min Son performance, who has been
98%.
In a role more or less of an inside forward, right? Most of the time. So how Mourinho used him, he has been fantastic, I think.
And also this Gareth Bale, 100% there on attacking side.
The most
attacking. So let's go to the defensive side of things. I think here, obviously, Aurier is a defender. Reguilon, who's a left back, has got quite a low defensive. Does that mean that he wasn't doing too many defensive actions, Sergio Reguilon?
In order to have a look at this, I haven't included the breakdown.
Okay, not to worry, it's fine. But just talk about the summary figure. Does it mean that, what does that 65 mean for Reguilon?
We'll need to have a look at. Hold on, let me find that, and if you can. So yes, about Reguilon in terms of defensive defense overall, he's at 65 overall. But he hasn't been participating a lot. He has 74 in defensive involvement, but 53 in defensive efficiency. Now, if we talk about who were the most defensively efficient players from this season, from Tottenham's the latest season, I'd say one is Dyer, but with 94, but his involvement has been low, 34, and the most balanced in terms of both high involvement and high efficiency, I'd have to say Davinson Sanchez, 93 involvement, 91 efficiency, but he hasn't featured so much.
No, Davinson Sanchez is a player that many supporters want to leave the club, but you're saying that when he's involved, his efficiency is very high. Is that correct?
Yes. And,
so there is a player there, really. If we can get his mindset correct, he could actually be quite good. So that's very interesting. Okay, should we move to the... I don't think we need to cover the aerial side. Should we move on to the next slide?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Demetrius, talk to us about this team ranking slide to show how we actually, Tottenham, compare with the other teams in the Premier League.
Okay, so over here we have an overview of all the teams participating in 2020-2021 Premier League with their main KPIs along with the versatility. And you see the pattern is obvious. You can follow the green colors and you can see, I mean, Manchester City, for example, along with Liverpool, but okay, let's put that aside. Manchester City and Chelsea had been the most versatile teams. City's dominance in terms of creative passing, ball circulation, attacking passing threat, and attacking, has been, it's obvious. Now, the red colors, defensive and aerial, they don't tell the whole story. We need to go and check out the breakdown and their efficiency, etc. But there is a pattern in most cases with team in each competition, with teams finishing up in the top 4, top 5, and this year's Premier League has not been much different. So yeah, it's I think some observations are obvious now about Tottenham.
Yeah, let's talk about Tottenham then. So versatility 62, what does that mean?
Mediocre versatility, as you can see, the coloring compared to the other teams, and the only greenish columns are actually defensive and aerial.
Attacking ball retention, ball possession, ball circulation was low. Attacking passing is low. Attacking overall is very low. So this is all attacking-wise. It's very, very bad, isn't it, for Tottenham?
Yes. Mediocre performance in these areas. And if we go to check out, for example, the attacking passing, you can. It's slide number 3, I think, in this presentation. On the table to the right, you can see the team rankings based on the overall. So you see Tottenham ranks at 11th place among all teams in the Premier League. And if you can check out the table on the left with in terms of efficiency, you see 47 efficiency in this aspect. So this tells a story. Combined with the second slide, creative passing, which Tottenham in terms of involvement has not been far from the leaders, with 61, but their efficiency over there as well is low, 49. So it's let's just say that the pattern of Tottenham's patterns, team patterns, are way far from patterns exhibited by teams competing for top places.
Sure. You know that Nuno Espirito Santo, who was the Wolves manager, has now been appointed Tottenham Hotspur manager. So I asked you to do some comparison between what Wolves did and what Tottenham has done. So thank you very much for doing that. Do you want to talk through the slide now, the first slide?
Okay, yes, sure. So, as we saw previously, comparing Tottenham's last 3 seasons, the main
Yeah.
KPIs,
Yeah.
we've done this for Wolves as well. And
Okay.
paradoxically, Wolves' most balanced season has been also the 2018-2019 season. You
Right.
see here in purple color. And the latest season, which Wolves have been, significantly underperforming. I think they finished 13th,
Yep.
13th place, had been their worst according to our numbers. If you move to slide 2. So over here we have compared in one report Spurs 18-19 and Wolves 18-19
Very, very
season.
similar. Yeah, nearly the same exactly.
Yes, which 18-19 has been the best season of both of them in the last 3 seasons, according to our numbers. And I think, objectively speaking as well, in terms of football, inside the field and what we could observe, it was the best performance. Now, you can see that, they're pretty close. But there is significant difference in certain areas. For example, Spurs had been circulating the ball more often and much more efficiently. You see 61-56, the difference. And also in terms of passing threat, 63-60. And Wolves had been a little better, if I can use this term, better, in terms of defensive and aerial. But let's move to the next slide where things become a lot more clear. Yeah. So on the previous slide we saw the end point, but here we can see the breakdown. So we see that Tottenham, during the 2018-2019 season under Pochettino, they wanted the ball, they moved around the ball, they circulated the ball far more than Wolves had been doing. And if you check TAP, this is passes to advanced positions, i.e. in final third. This was a significant characteristic of their style of play. In comparison, in contrast, Wolves, how they preferred back then, how they preferred to move the ball in attack and create chances. You see that they preferred a more direct style of play, more passes in box, more tunnel passes, which indicates that, when we're talking about tunnel passes, when we're talking about through passes, it means that the areas of within the field, the areas where they had the opportunity to pass the ball, Wolves preferred to attack from deeper areas and not so much, moving their lines too high.
So they weren't passing in the box that much. They were passing outside the box and moving into attacking areas in the box.
They were moving. They were trying to move the ball more in the box than Tottenham. Tottenham like to take their time to circulate the ball and also move the ball into the final third. Wolves did not prefer so much to do that. They preferred a more direct way to.
I mean, you can see here the aerial 60-51. So Wolves are putting potentially a lot more balls in the box, trying to get headers and things like that. Tottenham were trying to play to feet, etc. See, big difference here. This is what I'm not sure what this is. SHM, is it?
Short medium passes, yes.
Yeah, short medium passes. A lot one for Tottenham and not so much for Wolves. So is this saying Wolves are more direct?
Yes.
More direct, more aerial, more into the box. That's the type of style they were playing. Okay, excellent. Shall I go to the next slide?
Yes.
This again is showing the efficiency of the teams. This is Tottenham and this is Wolves. Do you want to talk very briefly about this one, Demetrius?
Yeah, I think this will give some answers in terms of what did Wolves, what helped Wolves to enjoy such a successful season back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that their efficiency in long passes
Yeah.
and especially in tunnel passes.
Tunnel passes.
What I was saying
What is a tunnel? Can you just
earlier.
explain to our viewers what a tunnel pass is?
The typical type of tunnel pass, we're talking about through passes,
Oh, through passes. Okay, yeah.
you can beat one, two opponents.
Just take them out of the game by just passing through them. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And the majority of through passes, they don't happen on the final third of the pitch. They happen when also we can exploit spaces in central areas of the pitch. So from the data, yeah. Sorry?
Big difference here. Tunnel passes. Tottenham is here and Wolves is up here. So Wolves are trying to transition directly to attack, but by cutting out a lot of players in between and doing tunnel passes. Yeah.
Exactly. And in contrast, Tottenham's efficiency in passes to advanced positions, passes to final third, is 63 to 45 compared to Wolves. So we're talking about different styles of play, which at the end resulted for both of them to have a very good finish at the end of the season.
So is this the type of play we can see from Nuno? More tunnel passing, more aerial threats, etc., etc. Yeah.
That's a good question. Now, from Wolves' first two seasons in the Premier League, it was obvious that Nuno preferred, is a big fan of 3-4-2-1 formation and the whole logic behind it. Okay, during the latest season, he tried a lot to change a little bit things. And if you go to slide number 8 in this presentation, so here we see this season the most used 11. So compared to 18-19, 19-20, when it was obvious that he was playing 3-4-2-1 no matter what, this season he tried to mix things up, and in almost one third of the matches it was a 4-2-3-1 formation. It didn't turn out very well for him, considering the results. So this is one discussion, or one part of the discussion we can make about him in terms of what his approach is going to be with Tottenham and the squad that he will have at his disposal, and what type of team he wants to create over there. Now, I think if you ask me, besides the data and everything, if you ask me, I think that the squad, Spurs squad, gives him a very good opportunity to create a hybrid of what he's been playing at Wolves and what he wanted to implement during the latest season at Wolves. And I think that one of the key players in doing this is going to be Dyer. So at Wolves, he was using a defensive midfielder, a classic defensive midfielder, Romain Saiss, and he turned him into a centre back. So for some reason, to be honest, I never understood why Dyer was turned into a centre back.
Because that's his preferred playing position is centre backs, I think, and he's got a lack of pace, so it's difficult in midfield to track box to box. But
he likes that.
He prefers to play centre back. Yeah, I think that's why they played him centre back. That's his preferred position.
Okay. So given this fact that he's been used to that, I think that this gives a perfect opportunity to Nuno to implement this 3 men at the back, and with Dyer's ability to step up higher and also to circulate the ball around, when Tottenham would be in attacking phase of play, Dyer could become the extra man in the midfield. And when they pull back, okay, he will take back his place in center of the pitch. And at the same time, Nuno's success at Wolves, another parameter has been the central midfield duo, Moutinho and Ruben Neves, which both of them, neither of them actually, is the defensive
mindset. Yeah, they're all attacking mindset, aren't they?
Yes, they are playmakers, both of them. And Tottenham has players like them in their squad. So you have Harry Winks, you have Tanguy Ndombele, you have Højbjerg, who is a very versatile player. If you ask me, all these players, for me, the best way to put them together would be, with Dyer as an answerman, and with Højbjerg and Ndombele or Winks in a midfield of three in front of Dyer. But he could do that trick with three at the back, with Dyer moving higher, and with two of them in front, circulating the ball, etc. So I think there's a lot of potential for Tottenham and for and Spirito to show things.
So before we finish, our viewers and subscribers requested that we do some analysis on Højbjerg and Ndombele. So this is what we've done. I'm going to hand it over now to Dimitris again. Dimitris, do you want to take us through this? Let's start with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yes, I can see the slide. So when we're talking about Højbjerg, we're talking about a highly versatile player. You see versatility of 86 and a very balanced type of performance. You see the line on the top right line chart. 83 overall in ball circulation, 72 in passing threat, 73 defensive wise, and you can see that his efficiency levels also on the bottom right stacked chart. You can see his efficiency levels are very high in almost all categories. So and also a very aggressive type of midfielder.
What is this chart showing us, Dimitris? What is this showing us here?
These are the overalls.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you see down to the right on this radar chart, you can see he's very aggressive, and you can see short, medium passes, promote possession passes, build-up passes, and also passes to advanced positions, passes to final third. He's very, very efficient at passes to the final third. And if you go to the macro view, exactly, that's it. You can see that it's clear that the playing pattern of Højbjerg is clear. He's a ball circulator, a very efficient one, and also he's been and okay, here is a question mark from my side. He's been the most heavily involved player in defensive contests this season from Tottenham's midfield. But I think that he's not cut out for this kind of play. He's not the destroyer, your typical destroyer, and it's obvious with his 54 efficiency. He's been very productive though, because he's a very good player and a very aggressive player. But if you don't have this slide, I haven't sent you, but he's been committing lots of fouls in the process. Yeah. He has an 88 ranking fouls committed.
So he fouls, that makes a lot of fouls,
Yeah. But he's a very useful player, and I think he's been one of the best performers of Tottenham this season. He gives balance.
I appreciate that. Let's go to the next one then, which is our friend Tanguy Ndombele. Tell us what's happening here. This is a guy divide the opinion. Some people really like him, some people don't like him, etc. Tell us his statistics, what he's doing.
Okay, now about Ndombele, you can see he's a very versatile player as well. He's been exhibiting signs of versatility. I mean, 94 this season, and one of his probably his best category is attack, with not so much of involvement. You can see 60 involvement, but 92 efficiency when it comes to attacking actions. Let's go to the macro view to have a better view. Okay, so you see his best category is dribbling.
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, and he's very efficient at dribbling as well. Involvement is 91. He's pretty good. 95. He's very good at dribbling. Yeah.
So when it comes to also shooting, you can see 81 efficiency. So his shots find the target most of the time. His conversion rate is also very high when he has the opportunity to do so, with a 70 efficiency. Now, what's interesting about Ndombele is that, okay, if we have a look, I have those charts in front of me, you don't, but okay, back in 2018-2019 in France, in Ligue 1 with Olympique Lyon, his playing pattern was totally different than what we see from this season with Tottenham. He was your typical ball circulator and your typical deep-lying playmaker, and not so much involved in attacking actions. He had other players, Lyon had other players there to do this kind of work, and he was very good at it. I mean, he was one of the top players in 2018-2019 Ligue 1, Ligue 1 in France. But I think that considering his physique and the physicality of the Premier League, he is not considered that he can compete in those midfield areas where a lot of physicality is involved. So they needed to find him a more suitable role. I think he's been delivering, from what I've seen, because we're talking about a bit of a transformation. When you're asking a player, now you'll be playing higher up the pitch and you'll be doing slightly different, you'll be operating slightly different than what you were used to be doing at your best season so far. For me, he's a similar type of case with Eriksen, because Eriksen was also, a central midfielder, and he would be more comfortable in playing in a midfield of three as an inside central midfielder, etc. But due to the lack of physicality, he had to operate slightly differently and in different roles, slightly higher up the pitch, etc. So I think Ndombele, if he's given enough time and in a squad that has a very clear idea of what they want to play, I think he's going to be a very useful player in the long term for Spurs.
Can I just, okay, thank you, that's excellent. Can we just talk about the low areas for Ndombele, just so we can understand? So what's this LNG?
Hold on, let me bring that.
What does it mean, LNG? LNG is very low then?
Long passes.
So he doesn't tend to play very long passes, normally short passes. What do we consider a long pass? Anything over what, a few feet or something, or what?
Long passes, all passes that are not okay. You need to edit that. How it's not passes on the ground.
Okay, it's in the air. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about these red areas here, Finn? BLK, blocking.
Very low block shots, very low in interventions, and slightly, average defensive work rate.
Okay, so defensively he's not brilliant, but obviously going forward, dribbling is his, which is what we knew, which is the data is telling us that. So this is Dimitris. Really, really good analysis. I think this is something that our viewers are really going to enjoy, and I really appreciate you coming on the show to talk about this. And hopefully, we'll get you back on and do some more analysis, and we'll take this. So, everybody, thank you for watching the podcast. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Give us your comments about the analysis. It's the first time for us, but we hope you enjoy it. Demetrius has put a lot of hard work in, so we say thank you very much to Demetrius for doing that. And hopefully you can come on during the new season, and give us some more analysis on Spurs. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you, Demetrius.
Thank you, Ray. Have a great one.
You've been listening to the Spurs 9501 podcast. Stay in touch, continue the debate, and let us know what you want to discuss by finding us on YouTube. Tune in after the next match day for more insight. Thanks for listening.